The following program is underwritten by Barlow's Clam Shack, located at 856 Scenic Highway in Bourne. Barlow's Clam Shack, where the seafood is always fresh.
Hi, and welcome to the February 2025 Bourne Review. I'm Susan Barlow. First, for some headline news and announcements. Cadets at the Mass Maritime Academy returned from their sea term that began on January 11th. This was the first sea term aboard their new ship, the Patriot State, which can accommodate 600 cadets. The tour included San Juan, Puerto Rico, Charleston, South Carolina, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Tampa, Florida. A big shout out to the Bourne boys hockey team. They won the 42nd Canal Cup, beating Sandwich 5-2. Mako's bait shop suffered damage when a 100-year-old man from Bourne drove into the front of the store located at 4 Barlow's Landing Road. The building was unoccupied and no injuries were reported. The Monument Beach Polar Club delivered a check for $62,000 to the Bourne Friends Food Pantry, raised from the 2025 Polar Plunge. Freezing for a reason, their motto really did pay off. Your public comments are wanted by the Bourne Recreation Department regarding a feasibility study for changes and upgrades to Chester Park, Clark Field, Keith Field, and the Pocasset Field. You can find the survey at the Rec Department on the townofbourne.com website. Looking for a summer job? Bourne Rec is hiring. Scan this QR code or visit townofbourne.com, the Rec Department. The deadline for the 2025 dog license is March 31st. Register or renew your dog license either online at townofbourne.com or in person at Town Hall. The cyber attack, first announced to the public on January 12th, has been resolved. At the March 4th Select Board meeting, Town Administrator Marlene McCullum said the cyber attack had been resolved and no ransom was paid. Letters will be sent out on a rolling basis to people whose personal data could have been compromised. Now for our top stories. On February 11th, Bourne residents crammed into the Pocasset Community Building for a public forum hosted by State Representative David T. Vieira and State Senator Dylan A. Fernandez to protest the closure of the Pocasset Mental Health Facility. Governor Healy has proposed cutting funding for the facility from the mental health budget at a time when mental health issues are on the rise. This is the only state-run mental health facility on the Cape. It's a 16-bed inpatient treatment facility. On February 24th, Governor Healy announced a pause on the closure and further review of the care given at the facility. The governor says she's grateful for all the feedback she received about the necessity and importance of that facility. A protest at the State House by the National Alliance on Mental Health, Cape Cod and Islands was planned for March. There wasn't enough seating for the crowd that turned out for the meeting, and many had to stand, which happens frequently at public meetings on the south side of the canal. 2 people attending the meeting were injured when they fell in potholes walking to their cars and had to separately be taken by ambulances to the hospital for treatment. Bourne's Department of Health and the Bourne Department of Natural Resources has issued an advisory about the bird flu, also called H5N1, on February 13th. The virus is spread among wild and domestic birds through saliva, nasal secretions, and feces. The risk to animals and humans is rare but possible through direct or prolonged exposure to infected birds or if infected birds contaminate an environment. Symptoms of infection in humans may include fever or feeling feverish and chills, cough, sore throat, difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, conjunctivitis, redness or irritation or discharge from the eye, headaches, runny or stuffy nose, muscle or body aches, diarrhea. According to the Barnstable County Department of Health, Massachusetts has reported several instances of avian flu in wild and domestic birds. In Plymouth, over 60 dead birds, including geese, swans, and ducks, were found at Billington Sea, which is a large, shallow freshwater pond. Electronic signs are on the streets of downtown Plymouth asking residents to report sightings of dead birds. Human-to-human transmission of the bird flu has not been reported. Properly handled and cooked poultry and eggs are safe to consume. Protect your pets. Keep cats indoors, keep dogs away from areas with migratory birds, and avoid feeding raw milk and raw meat pet foods diets to your pets. In other states, H5N1 has been transmitted between dairy cows, and the virus has been found in raw milk. While no dairy cows have tested positive in Massachusetts, public health officials advise against drinking raw milk. Pasteurization has been shown to kill the bird flu, H5N1, and other pathogens, so it is safe to drink. If you suspect you have been exposed to H5N1, monitor your health for flu-like symptoms and contact your healthcare provider or the Mass Division of Epidemiology at 617-983-6800. Precautions for Cape Cod residents. Beach walkers, if you encounter a dead bird, do not touch it with your bare hands. Notify your town's animal control officer and use disposable gloves, masks, and eye protection if handling is unavoidable. Backyard poultry owners, protect your flock by keeping them away from wild birds. Report sick or dead poultry immediately to the Massachusetts Department of Agricultural Resources and Animal Health Division at 617-626-1795. Pet owners, prevent pets from interacting with dead birds or other wildlife to avoid potential exposure, and do not feed pets raw meat or milk. Report sick or deceased birds if 5 or more are found in one location. capecod.gov/bird flu. Nomination papers for our next town election, to be held on May 20th, became available on February 11th. Incumbents Peter Meyer and Melissa Ferretti have pulled papers for re-election to our Select Board. Incumbents David O'Connor and James J. Robinson, Jr. have taken out papers for re-election to the Planning Board. Stephen Cahan pulled papers for a seat on the board of the trustees of the Bourne Veterans Memorial Community Center. Here are some important election dates to keep in mind. The last day to take out nomination papers is March 28th at 5 p.m. The last day to file completed papers with the Board of Registrars is Tuesday, April 1st by 5 p.m. April 15th is the last day someone can object to papers filed by a potential candidate, usually with a perceived problem with signatures. April 15th is also the last day for a candidate to withdraw from the race and have their name not appear on the ballot, and for a ballot question to be included on the ballot. Residents can register to vote in the town election up until 5 p.m. on May 9th. The election warrant must be posted by May 13th. Here's what's happening downtown. On February 11th, a joint meeting of the Select Board, Planning Board, and Conservation Commission resulted in the decision to consider the former police station on Main Street as a potential site for affordable housing. The station has been vacant since 2019 when the Bourne Police Department relocated to a new state-of-the-art facility on Armory Road. If the Affordable Housing Trust and Housing Partnership for Affordable Housing doesn't accept the offer of the property will be auctioned off. Main Street has been the focus of revitalization for several years with some significant successes, but some buildings still remain empty and lots remain unsold. Main Street has difficulty from being in a flood zone with limited sewering and water capacity, and the canal dividing the town with some residents hesitant to cross the bridge to enjoy what's offered on our Main Street, such as restaurants and park activities, etc. Here's an update on town services. On March 8th, it's a fun project over at the library. It's St. Patrick's Day card making with string art at 1 p.m. On March 12th, from 6 to 7 p.m., head over for retro game night at the library. Come and play Mario Kart on the Wii with your friends. On Thursday, March 13th, from 6 to 7 p.m., meet local author Slater Merriman. He'll read and chat about his new children's book, Different. It Is Okay? On March 15th, it's an author talk by Barbara Epic Struna on her book, The Old Cape Map, her new historical fiction. It takes place at 1 p.m. On March 21st, for ages 5 to 8 years old, it's Build a Fort. Bring your own boxes and have some fun in the library's program room. On March 25th at 1 p.m. to 2:15 p.m., the library will hold a talk on Medicare, a free seminar on the difference between Medicare supplement plans versus Medicare Advantage plans. On Saturday, March 29th at 1 p.m., Honorable Dennis J. Curran will give a talk on the United States versus Susan B. Anthony and voting rights for women. It's at 1 p.m. Want to know about all the activities at the library? Sign up for the Jonathan Bourne Public Library newsletter. You can find it under the tab About Us on the library website, bournelibrary.org. The Bourne Recycling Center is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. but closed on Tuesdays. If you're trying to declutter, please remember that textiles, meaning clothing and other fabric products, are no longer allowed in the trash. There are containers at the Bourne Recycling Center specifically for textiles, as well as containers in the parking lots of the Bourne Public Schools. However, if clothing is in good, usable condition, please donate it to one of the local charities or thrift shops in town, such as, just to name a few, the St. Vincent de Paul, located at 5 Armory Road next to the police station. There's St. Margaret's Attic Treasures at 143 Main Street in Buzzards Bay, the thrift shop at the Bourne United Methodist Church, 37 Sandwich Road, or the drop box located in the parking lot behind the Bourne Food Pantry at 121 Main Street. There's also a thrift shop specifically for veterans located at the Uptuxet VFW, located across from Gray Gables Market, 180 Shore Road. The Bourne Council on Aging, located in the Bourne Community Center, offers a wide variety of programs for seniors 60 years and older. Chef Jean Lanahan will hold 2 cooking classes. Due to the popularity of the classes, each class will have 2 sessions. On Thursdays, March 13th and March 20th, you'll learn how to make shrimp rangoons. On Tuesdays, April 4th and 15th, you'll be whipping up frittatas and mock cocktail board. Classes are from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Registration is limited and the fee is due in advance, $10 per class, so head on over to the Council on Aging to reserve your spots. The LGBTQ Life Changes Senior Support Group will hold a 6-week in-person support meetings on Thursdays, March 20th through April 24th from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Community Center. The Low Vision and Sight Loss Support Group meets the 4th Tuesday of the month, 10:30 to noon. Call Sight Loss Services if you need more info or transportation at 508-394-3904. A Parkinson's disease support group meets the second Thursday of the month at 2 p.m. Call to register. Domestic violence counseling is held the first Tuesday of the month from 10 a.m. to noon and the fourth Wednesday of the month from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Contact Freddie Chapman at Independence House for more information. 508-771-6507, extension 24. On April 11th at 11 a.m., the Nantucket Historical Society will give a presentation, The Tragedy of the Whale Ship Essex. Seating is limited for this talk, so call the COA to register. Cape Light Compact will hold a presentation on April 23rd at 10 a.m. at the Community Building to answer any questions and to inform the community members of their energy options. Call the COA to register. Well, there's lots more programming at the Council on Aging, and you can see a listing of all their activities by visiting townofbourne.com/Council on Aging. Here are some wonderful photos taken by area photographers showing the beauty that surrounds us. Look at the calendar. On Earth Day, April 19th, you can join in the Cape Cod Canal Cleanup. It's held rain or shine from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Meet up at the Herring Pond Recreation Area located at 810 Scenic Highway. Registration for Bourne Youth Baseball will end on March 16th for ages 4 to 12. Sign up at byb.org. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with what's happening in Bourne. Your company or organization can become an underwriter. It's a great way to spread the word. Send an email for more information to info@bournetv.com. Well, thanks so much for watching this episode of the Bourne Review, and I'll see you next time.
The preceding program was underwritten by Barlow's Clam Shack, located at 856 Scenic Highway in Bourne. Barlow's Clam Shack, where the seafood is always fresh.